God created your mind to be able to look at God's other creations, on this planet that they created, and you look at their other creations, and you gain understandings. Each form of creation is like a book with an endless amount of understanding you can gain from it. Water, earth, air, the stars, plant life, animal life, all of these different, books, you can call them, all these different books. Our mind, the instinctive ability of our mind is able to pull understandings from all of them, from all of these things that God created, And to me, that's that's the closest thing to the word of God that exists, you know what I mean? And yeah, there's no words and there's no writing there or no language or nothing like that, you know what I mean? It's an instinctive process of the mind that leads to, understanding how shit works and being able to answer questions for yourself, in all realms of thought. And to me, that's the word of God, you know what I mean? It strengthens our minds naturally. We evolved on this planet, and that's how we strengthen it, naturally, with the word of God. And I have a question for religious people. A simple question. If you say nature is not the word of God, like if that's how you feel, then I have a simple question for you that can maybe help you understand why nature is the word of God, The people in your book, the important people in your book, or person in your book, or books, or whatever you got, all your religious, the people in the book, pick the main one, the main person in the book, in your religious book. Would they be in that book if they didn't spend so much time in nature, observing God's creation with their mind, and then gain the understandings in God's creation, so that they could answer the questions that they asked themselves personally, what they sought to understand, If they didn't spend so much time in nature, would they be in the book? And I think you know the answer. The answer is no. You take any of those religious figures from history, and you take out the fact that they spent a ridiculous amount of time in nature, gaining understandings, so they could form thoughts in their mind, and then get the answers to the questions they asked. If that didn't happen, if that instinctive process that, didn't happen, they wouldn't be in the book, and you know it. So by that logic, nature is the word of God, and the instinctive process of your mind is how you read it from the word of God. You know what I mean? So just understand how things work. Acknowledge it if you can. If you can't acknowledge it, and you still think a little tiny book is the word of God and contains the endless wisdom and, advice from an eternal mind that exists, which they would have an endless thought of a mind. If you think it's condensed into a tiny little book, I think that's laughable, but hey, you can believe what you want, I respect your beliefs because there's things you don't understand. I'm not mad because I understand things that you don't understand, you know what I mean? Just because it's just different levels of understanding, you know what I mean? But anyways, I would like for you to reach my level of understanding because, hey, it's the truth, Truth is what's most important in life.